So the Cloud4all project targets auto personalization of the different computers or any IT that a user might encounter. So the philosophy is that that the way the world is nowadays, you don't just use your home computer. First of all, you do use a computer. Almost all of us, I'm sure, have a computer standing at home or use one at work or in our studies. And you don't just use a single machine at home. Usually that's, I mean, when you have a computer at home, you probably have it all set up the way you want it to. If you have some sort of disability, you have your screen reader, for example, with the desired speed and pronunciation of capitals and so on and so forth. Or like me, I have all my settings. I have my computer set up the way I want it to. Every time I go to a new computer, I get frustrated that my keyboard shortcuts don't work, or that the theme is all off, or that something is not exactly the way I want it. We don't just have our computer at home. We use, when we go to the school, we use a computer. When we go to the library, we might use a different computer. Or at our work, we also have our smartphones and our tablets, and all these uses different platforms. We have Linux, Windows, Mac, Android, banking machines, and so on and so forth. So the idea of Cloud4all is to give a more consistent experience across the devices, to make sure that whatever difficulties you face using a computer, whatever your needs and preferences are, they should be applied to any machine you encounter. So you should, whatever machine you walk up to, you should feel at home. So the way this works is that you create a set of preferences. You tell the system how you would like to use the computer. You specify a set of needs and preferences. Then the Cloud4all system will, whenever you walk up to a computer and key in, and I'll show this in a second, whatever computer you walk up to and key in, the Cloud4all system will take these preferences, information about the device you're currently on, what applications are installed, what tools there are on the computer that might help you, and then figure out how to best configure it for your needs. So to see this in action, so for example, we might have a user who likes to use, who needs a magnifier to be able to use the computer. And their preferred setting is that it should magnify 200%. If not, they cannot see what's going on the screen. So right now, I just have a USB. On this USB, there's a little token reference or that is related to a needs and preferences set. The needs and preferences could be on this USB, but generally they would probably be stored in the cloud, so you have access to them anywhere. But I have a little USB here with a token on it that references my needs and preferences. And when I plug it in, the Cloud4all system will detect that there is a user token on this machine, figure out what's... Oh. Alright, so that was the wrong... Hold on. Yeah.
Supposed to have only one of these.
Yeah. Alright, there we go. So I plug in the user, the system reads what token is on there, figures that Windows have a built-in magnifier, and launches it with the setting of 200%. The idea is if you go to a Linux machine, if you need a Linux machine at work, you would be able to plug in the same. And I don't have a Linux machine here. If you want to see that in action, we have a booth up by the registration desk. But this works across platforms. So if I go to a Linux machine, even if I've never used a Linux machine before and do not know where to find the magnifier and set the magnification level, this will automatically happen as soon as I key in. Once I'm done with this, I pull out the USB, and the system automatically resets to the state it was in before. So this is if I'm at a friend's place and want to use their computer, I can actually use it even if it's not set up for me. And as soon as I leave it, my friend won't be bothered with trying to reset the settings of the magnifier or whatever else I might have needed to configure it for my for me to be able to use it. So this is one example. Another user of the magnifier might have a preferences for the same magnification level but with inverted colors. So you can see here, it launches the magnifier with the current settings. And this is an example of built-in functionality in Windows. But the system also works for third-party applications. So if I need a screen reader and I'm not particularly impressed by the built-in narrator of Windows, I might have some preferences for the NVDA screen reader, or some needs that the narrator is not able to cover. And in that case, the system would register that NVDA is installed in this computer and it's better fit for me than the built-in narrator, and it launches that with my preferred settings. So this is an example of a third-party application. Again, when I pull out the USB, the screen reader is stopped again. So there's the platform-specific configuration capabilities and application capabilities. But there is also, and I don't have an example for this, but we also support web pages. So some web pages might have the ability to configure themselves, to change the font size, to set a specific theme. And again, this can be connected with the GPII, so the web page automatically adapts according to your needs and preferences. So I guess this is the gist of the GPII. We're 2 years into a 4-year project. We have this working with the basic set of accessibility features on the Windows, on the Linux, and on the Android mobile platform. And we also have a range of SP3 applications that work with this. And we're currently in the progress of integrating a range of web applications as well, which you can probably see if you come to another Cloud4all demo in about a month or so. So I guess what we what we want with this project is obviously to have as many applications and ITs that are configurable and that could benefit from this auto configuration to be integrated. And we've built this to make it as easy as possible to integrate your solution. So, for example, for a Windows solution, if you have an AT that works under Windows, all we need to do is to create a declarative file saying this is where my settings are set, this is how you start and stop the application, and potentially this is how the settings of this application are related to a more commonly expressed set of user settings. So you just need to create a declarative file and then it should work. So we've tried to make the process of integrating as simple as possible, so it's very easy to add new application, this functionality to new applications. So we're very interested in having more applications made compatible with this. We're also very interested in getting more users to test this. User input is extremely valuable for us, and the more people who can test this and give us some sort of input, the more the better we can do it. The more feedback we get, the more we can actually make this the optimal user experience. And then of course we want dissemination is important for us. For this to really work, we need to have as many solutions as possible integrated with this, and as many users as possible using it. The more users there are, the more solutions will actually find it desirable to integrate with Cloud4all. And in the end, hopefully, what we will see is that this is installed anywhere, so you can go to any device, any machine, any ATM, in the airport, in the planes, and the little TV or whatever, all this will be automatically configured just by using a USB key or an RFID token or the like. I guess that's it. Any questions?